You're watching America's Next Top Model, the after show, right here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I don't know what to do. 'Cause I'll never be with you.
You're beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting emotional here on America's Next Top Model, the after show on AFTERBUZZ TV. This was a heavy one. This is cycle 24, episode 7, Beauty is Raw. I'm your host here, Mike Scocozza. You can find me everywhere, Mike Scocozza, easy peasy, and the rest of my crew is here. Say hi.
Hey guys, I am Mina Wahab. This has actually been a very emotional episode, just saying. I'm not going to cry during the after show though.
Okay.
You guys are.
Can we try to make you cry?
You can try. I cry pretty easily, so I think it'll be very
I don't want to
easy.
do that.
It'll be very
But if it
easy.
happens naturally, I think we all support it here.
Yeah,
okay.
sure. The natural cathartic experience. But yeah, you guys can follow my Insta stories and watch me cry on there. Mina makes magic. So M-I-N-A, making magic everywhere I go. Follow.
Hey guys, I'm Oliver Drennan. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. I won't cry. I'm not a baby like Mina. I'm a bully. Sorry.
Can anyone else recall an episode that felt this weighted in a while? I can't really.
Well, there was the episode with Liz. Do you remember when Liz went home because she was feeling like threatened and whatnot from the other girls, and the show she like exited? So it was kind of, I think that's the most emotion that we've seen. What do you guys think?
I'm trying to think back to like old seasons,
Yeah,
like season 1, season 2.
Oh,
season
you're talking
3.
about different seasons? Oh. I don't know.
Nothing over.
I feel like there have been, but sometimes they tend to like dramatize things.
Yeah,
but
with
they didn't do it this time.
Yeah, I thought
Like,
they
I
played it
genuinely-
out in a very like supportive kind of way. You know,
Yeah.
it started out a little bit kind of with Christina was kind of, bitching and complaining again to open up the episode. And Brendy K was also having a bit of a hard time. She's just been having a hard time these last couple episodes. I hope she pulls it together a little bit, and she did. We find out she did. She had a great shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of stuff like kind of right off the bat. We learned that Aaron, the father of her son, got very sick and had died of cancer, and she apparently left him and never really came to closure with that. So that was heavy. Yeah, it just started out with a lot.
Yeah.
But then Tyra came, and the girls got manicures.
Yeah, like open up your soul to me, and then let's get our nails done.
Well, maybe that's the best time to open your soul. I don't know. I don't get manicures that often. I'm more of a pedicure guy, but maybe like when you're having a moment, I don't know.
It would have been cool. Like, you know how there's like this one girl who set the book of world records for longest fingernails? It would have been super dope if they like had that like around.
What?
That would be terrifying. You just dropped this in a whole new direction.
Yeah. I should be like a creative director. Like, I come up with these phenomenal ideas.
Oh, you are. You should just forget Drew Elliott. It should be Mina on the show. I totally support this.
You should work your way into that. You should definitely,
I will.
helm the producer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I support it.
It's gonna happen. Mina making magic.
So yeah, Tyra comes over to first she tells the girls, everybody's all tense, they think like something big is coming, and then she tells them that they're gonna get a manicure,
Yeah.
and then she shows up to get a manicure as well, because apparently Tyra hasn't had a manicure in 3 weeks. It's rough. It's rough for Tyra. So she comes over, and then of course more as again with the theme of the episode, more and more, we learning more and more, people are opening up more and more, and Christina, obviously opens up and has a moment, has a coming to Jesus moment, if you will. Sure. And so what we learned about her dad. Her dad almost died, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that he had he went into cardiac arrest, or he had a heart attack, and that they put him into a coma, but she didn't know that he would wake up. So I was just confused.
I assumed he woke up.
You know,
she didn't say he died.
She said that he wasn't supposed to. That was the part that I didn't understand. Like, why wouldn't he be supposed to wake up?
I don't know.
That he had been like he flatlined or something. I didn't understand how, but it was.
I don't know if people make up from comas that often. Is that like a very common thing? I don't know.
I mean, I literally had a very similar situation that Christina had, and I know like what it feels like, and it's not a good feeling. So like when she said that, I was like, yeah, that sucks. Like,
yeah,
I had like an almost identical experience with my dad. But yeah, no, that was sad. But I don't know, the way she says things, you kind of were like.
Her issue.
Is there another like way, like something else behind what she's saying, you think?
Like an ulterior motive, like she's saying it, and she's specifically saying, I don't want your sympathy, but then she's saying it to be more.
But human. I want your sympathy.
But she breaks down, you know. Yeah. I think she's
very sensitive.
Yeah.
And people don't notice that. They think like she's like this cold, mean, calculating person. I feel like that's how the girls speak about her. But she's truly very sensitive. And I think people should be nicer to her in the house. I mean, I get she's just unlikable. That's the only thing.
I don't ever feel bad for somebody that tries to play the victim. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't ever get you anywhere in life. You know what I mean? Like you got to own things. You got to step up and say this is who I am. And if I did something wrong, I did something wrong, and I fucking own that.
Have you ever been bullied, Mike?
Yeah, I think everyone in life in some point has been bullied. Yeah, on some level, the bullying thing is a really, I don't know, I find it really, really interesting because again, I really think at some point almost every person has been bullied on some level, and I know this is gonna sound maybe harsh to say this, but I think on some level, as long as people are existing, there's gonna be bullying. Like it's a human like emotion, you know what I mean? Like you're not like it's just like
shut up.
Right, you're not gonna.
I'm just kidding.
You're not gonna eliminate hate all of a sudden
bully.
from people's like world.
Yeah.
And I think instead of focusing on trying to, and again, this might be a very unpopular thing to say, but instead of trying to eliminate bullying, why aren't we working on building up people to celebrate and be happy for who they are? You know what I mean? Like. Everyone's going to have an opinion about you no matter what. You know what I mean? It might be the right opinion. It might be the wrong opinion. But, like, why are you letting other people choose how things affect you or how you're going to live your life? And I think that's really the more of a message that we should be teaching people is saying, hey, who gives a shit what people say? Like, you're never going to escape it.
No, I love that. I think you really hit the nail on the head with that one. But it's hard, especially like in the modeling industry. Your job is to be judged and critiqued. Like that is literally
your job.
Your profession. So like you kind of have to care about what judges think of you. But again, it's a little different. But I get what you're saying.
If you want to get into the world of modeling, you need to learn that's what it is. You're constantly going to be judged based off the way you look, and that's part of the business. So if you can't handle that, don't get into the business. Yeah. Like. That's what it is.
But of course the show is going to capitalize on this particular issue.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I get that. And again, I'm not unsympathetic to people that are bullied. Of course, like it's a terrible thing, but I think more importantly we need to teach people to be proud of themselves, to feel confident in themselves. You know what I mean? And I think that's what the message I would try to convey.
Yeah. I think my heart goes out to Christina. I think that's a really sad story. But also, like, I totally agree with you bringing up her victimizing herself because we saw that this is, fast forwarding a little bit, but she said that she was bullied in that model house. So it's kind of like, why are you doing this? Like, her mouth gets her into trouble.
She was bullied, though, but it's because she brought certain things upon herself. But they definitely, like... I feel like when you're in a house of girls, it's totally mob mentality. Like she is being portrayed as like not the villain, but like she's being portrayed in a very unflattering
as a
way.
negative Nancy.
But it's like they really are ganging up on her a lot. But I really did respect Brendy K for being like, you should be in our group and let's talk about this. I think Brendy K has a lot of maturity.
I think so. Yeah.
I was surprised it wasn't the nude photo shoot because I feel like Tyra does do stuff like that to push people a little.
Yeah.
Would you, if Tyra's like, I needed to strip down, would you do that?
Okay, another thing I'm going to say about if you want to be a model, you're going to have to get used to shooting naked. Like, it's part of the job.
You don't have to.
Yes, you do. Do you? Also, try shooting naked. It's very liberating. It's very fun. It's like it's a very empowering thing when you have nothing but yourself. You know what I mean? And I think people should look at it instead of, oh, what are my friends are going to think? What is my family going to think? And just say, this is an empowering thing for me. And
it totally can be empowering, but someone like Sandra, who's Muslim, isn't going to do that. Like, totally relate to her
But
on
also,
that.
like,
Because, like,
if-
culturally,
listen,
that's, like, super taboo.
If you're at New York Fashion Week and you're in a show, you're changing constantly. You're naked in front of people.
That's
You're always
different.
naked.
Yeah.
That's
Is it,
different.
though?
It's totally different being like being with girls and like changing versus like exposing your body for the world to see. It's totally different.
Because the show, it does
totally
immortalize.
different.
But
It
also-
will forever
Yeah, I
immortalize
don't
the photo, you
like.
know?
Some people don't want pictures of them
First of all,
circulating like that.
they're not going to show you naked on the show because it can't. It's television, so
Yeah.
they're not going to show you naked. So
Yeah.
everybody's not going to see you naked. And
Yeah.
second of all, anytime they ever do some sort of nude shoot on the show, it's always done so well. They did one last year with, I think it was Ellen. I'm forgetting her name.
DeGeneres.
Oh, they
No,
did.
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
No,
it
they
was one
did
of the
do
first
some.
shoots, and
Yeah.
it was amazing.
I don't know.
So when the show does it, like
It's very
like,
tasteful. It's not
is.
like pornography. Like they would never do that.
You're not
on the
shooting
show.
porn. No,
Yeah.
it's very different. Although I think it does start to get a fine line between porn and other things. You know, this is very
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Well, so the photo shoot was not nude at all, surprisingly. I remember Erin was tearing up. She was like, because she doesn't want her children to see like her being nude. And I
Yeah,
don't-
how weird is that? Like, can you imagine having kids and one day they're like, they see you naked? Like, this is what Daddy used to do for a
But
living.
also, I feel like that's like
You've never seen your parents naked?
I mean,
My parents naked all the time. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
But I feel like that's like I don't think nudity is like something to be shameful of. You know, like you're presenting your kids like. I don't know. What do you guys think?
no, I get what you're saying, but here's the thing. It's not something to be ashamed of, but when it's so sexualized in our culture, it's different. Like, you can say, like, the female form is beautiful. It is. But, like, it's also very much sexualized. It's kind of why a lot of people have problems with women breastfeeding in public when they shouldn't, because breasts are sexualized when they shouldn't be, but they are. So, like, when something is sexualized, you're kind of like, okay, let me cover up, because I don't want someone who has certain thoughts sexualizing me or objectifying me, so I'm gonna dress a certain way to like deter that.
I'm going to think those thoughts whether you're breastfeeding or not. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to think dirty thoughts most of the time in my head. I'm not going to share them with people, but
I'm just kidding.
that's what's going on in here, up here.
Well, I think
Nudity.
nudity is definitely in the modeling industry. It's kind of like a trend now, especially with Paper Magazine, like Kim Kardashian, Black China, like nudity, like people who, well, this isn't a bad thing. PETA, you know how it's like I would never wear fur.
Yeah.
So I think it's very trendy for models to, you know, do nude shoots. So I don't know. I don't see anything bad about nudity.
Yeah, I just would never do it. And like I respect people's decision not to do it. I don't think you have to be open to every single thing when you're a model. Like, it's good to be versatile, but you should, if you have boundaries, then yeah, don't do that.
But
photo
also,
shoot.
when are you ever going to get a chance to maybe be like in a naked photo shoot shot by Tyra Banks on this amazing platform? Like, it's like also I look at it as an experience. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Like,
there are so many other experiences in the world. You don't have to like kill yourself over one that is going to.
I'll try almost anything once.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We have very different thoughts about this.
It's good. It's creating a really good conversation.
Yeah.
I'm just like
Yeah.
watching guys go back and forth, and I'm like,
No, it's
I'm
like,
playing devil's
yeah, I'm
advocate.
sure shrooms expand your mind and make you think of things in a weird way. Would I ever try them? No, I wouldn't.
Well, you should.
Yeah. Do drugs, kids. That's the message he's trying to say.
You know, anything in moderation.
No, I feel like I
but,
have to say don't do drugs, kids, because I'm like so scared someone is gonna take me literally in the live chat.
it's okay.
Well, they didn't shoot naked, so
Yeah.
I don't think they probably will the rest of the season. But I'm for it if they do it. We'll leave it at that. Not for it.
Well, I think it's a good thing because it, like, you know, it presents the models into being put in, like, a vulnerable state. So they really have to, you know, be creative with their body and, you know, emote the best they can. And I think, I don't know, I think it'd be fun to do.
I like psychological vulnerability. Like, not
This is
physical.
reality television. They're going to
Yeah.
do that, you know, to these girls.
Like, I don't need physical vulnerability. Like, just break down the enemy psychologically, and that's good enough for me.
Oh man, I'd lose. Also, even before we got into it, and she didn't say it in the group house, like when Tyra came over, but in the one-on-one, we find out that Christiana was molested when she
Yeah.
was 11 years old, which was very heavy.
We kind of foreshadowed like it was something crazy based on last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting it to be that, but
Yeah.
damn, it's crazy to see someone who's like so vibrant and like filled with life that has that like horrible dark thing that happened to them that they felt they couldn't talk about, you
Yeah.
know, like that. I started tearing up like that. Like no one should ever have to go through something like that, and it's so sad that people are so sick that they would do something like that to a child who can't protect themselves against it.
And
you know,
I think the sad part is it probably happens a lot more than we think it probably happens, which is horrible.
Of course, it goes unreported. You know, people feel a lot of shame.
Yeah.
So
And then the molested, they don't report it. They don't want to talk about it. They feel ashamed.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that some of these girls like Christiana are using this show as a really positive platform to, promote anti-molestation and bullying and stuff like that, because it's wrong, So
everything she's done on the show has been such a very positive, like anytime she's at just the way she handles herself, she's
perfect. I honestly
really
think
awesome
she's gonna win. Like I can't ever imagine her being eliminated. Like there's no way.
Top 2. She's got to be in top 2.
Top 2.
Top 3
100%.
for sure. I want her to win, and I'm biased, but I don't care because she's amazing.
Yeah.
I was as she was kind of like going through this, I'm thinking to myself, again, as somebody who's gone through the show, you fill out all these sort of questionnaires and you take all these psychological tests and stuff like that before you even start filming anything. And it was interesting because I think it was during panel, then she said, I haven't even talked about this to anybody until now. And I wonder if she really has not said a word to anybody for 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? Like, or I wonder if the producers even knew that this was something that she was you know what I mean? Like holding. I really don't know.
I'm so shocked that she'd be okay with it being on national television and that's like her big reveal. You
Yeah.
know? Like that's because it's so personal and it's so it's so vulnerable. Like to be that vulnerable in front of the world, Well, the U.S. But wherever
the show airs,
can be seen. Yeah. But still, pretty huge,
Yeah, and then so the girls sort of took a lot of these emotions and things that are going on, and they brought it to the challenge. They did the challenge. Oh, they did the photo shoot first.
Yeah, they flipped it this week.
They did flip it. Yeah.
They never do that. It's weird when they do that.
They do it sometimes. They just don't tell
But it's
you.
but it's like what? Oh, editing.
But yeah, the photo shoot was great. Everybody rocked it, right? Well, from what it seemed like.
Yeah,
from what it seemed like.
Because Tyra's like, do that. She was giving everyone positive feedback, and I'm just kind of like, wait. But then, of course, you can go into editing and be like, okay, well, let's give her a crappy photo. Not saying
that's how I feel though.
Possibly.
And also with Rio, I love Rio, and I thought the way she was positioned was so awkward. Can we find Rio on the screen? It's that one, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm kind of with you here. I didn't love it.
I feel like she's just
either.
my arms are flimsy, and I'm just like.
She looks like she's not ready.
Yeah, it just looks like she's not emoting anything, and I was so shocked that she was one of the first few people that were called down. It just didn't make sense to me at all. I was like, I honestly don't like this photo. Like she's gorgeous, but she's always beautiful.
It just wasn't a flattering
the angle is bad. Like I don't know.
Like her neck's kind of hidden to me a little bit.
Yeah, it's just not. It's almost like I don't know. It's very strange to me. I don't like it.
Were there any other photos that you didn't necessarily agree with the judges' praise, if we will?
I mean, I thought this photo was on the same level as the girl who got eliminated, Christina. I don't know if that photo's even there.
I think Rio's is better than Christina.
Oh no, it's Christiana. Christiana was beautiful.
Christiana's was so stunning. I couldn't get over it.
Yeah,
see that one, it wasn't the.
I really didn't like it.
Yeah, but it wasn't the worst. That hand is so awkward though. Like the hand of the one on the right.
Shanice's hand.
It's so awkward.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the hand kills it.
It looks so big.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's like a man hand.
It's just not. It's I don't know. The hand kills it, and also
I don't like her facial expression either. I feel like that's
the damn hair. It's literally the hair. If she had any hair, I feel like she could kind of look like that. Like she looks so tense.
Yeah,
the purpose of this challenge is to release the tension, right, and to be vulnerable. It looks like she still has it bottled in, and she's been through so much in this picture. But I still think it's a cool picture. I just don't think that it really has to do with what the challenge was, and also her hair isn't styled at all. It's just I don't know.
You could say it's raw.
Do you think? Do you think they kind of played her with that hair? I just don't think that hair helped her at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's so unfair. Every single person got a really cool makeover, minus Cora, but she got the worst one. Like, I think it's so
really is.
unfair.
It only helped her in the horror shoot. Do you remember the horror shoot?
Yeah.
That was the time like that her hair helped.
But you
her.
know, despite her having the worst makeover, she's had some excellent pictures. Like when she got eliminated and they were showing her entire like portfolio of work throughout the competition, I thought she killed almost every photo.
What did you guys think of Kyla's photo? Because she
I loved it.
You didn't see her face.
Oh,
and that's
by
definitely...
the way, she walked into the judging room in the cutest outfit.
She looked good.
She
in
looked
judging.
so edgy.
She was cute.
I've never seen her like that. She killed it. And this picture is great. Like, I have zero complaints about it. I think it's like sexy, but in a very sensual way. Like, it's not it's not pornographic, even though.
No, it's great. The lines, like everything.
There is like a
great.
fine line between that.
They played around with more of these kind of shoots because everyone was kind of like showing their face, but it would have been cool to see like more shots like this from the other girls. Like Christina could have done something like that.
Yeah.
So I wish Tyra would have directed more creative like poses for the girls and angles.
I wonder if it was fully Tyra's direction or if they were like, you know, I'm going back and forth. I don't know. I'm curious. But
there's only so much they can show us.
And is Tyra a professional photographer? Because like
she's done it before.
She's done it before. I think if you're around the industry for that long and so long, you just sort of like fall into it and you start. Right.
Yeah. It's probably not that hard to take photos either. Like, you know.
Tyra, honestly, even the way she says everything, she really is so genuine and she gives such good critique for the women. And like even when someone fights back, like I haven't seen her go crazy yet. Like you know, like back in the day, there'd be like so many.
You know, she's a little bit older. She's a little more mature these days.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, like she
with Tiffany.
The whole kiss my whatever.
What?
Scene, like what are you talking about? She's had so many like crazy.
I was rooting for you. That iconic scene in Cycle 4.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Yeah.
You don't even need to know anything about Top Model.
Done anything crazy
To know that exists. You know what I'm saying?
But she's so composed and put together, and she gives the best advice and the best critique, and.
I mean, that's also...
she's so great. Like, I love her. I have a girl crush on Tyra. I love you, Tyra.
That's how she built her brand, though, too, is being that sort of vulnerable and open. You know what I mean? Like, I that's part of her, who she is, and I think she does it and executes it very beautifully. And I don't think it's disingenuous in any way.
It's
you know what
not.
I mean? It's really not.
It's not.
Yeah.
And she's just very entertaining too, which helps. She's such a character.
Yeah,
she brightens up the screen. That's why she's hosting. She hosted America's Got Talent. She was the new host for that.
Is she still hosting
I
that?
saw that.
I don't know if it's still going on. I don't watch it, but I just know that she's the new host for that show.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not sure if it's still going on or not. But
I'm looking at all the model pictures up there.
I didn't love Sandra's.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
I knew
it was okay. I mean, it was okay. I didn't think it was on par with some of the other ones.
I just like that the eyes were different because usually
she's not emoting. But look, she looks good.
She does. No, she looks good.
It's very sultry.
That's the best I've ever seen of Sandra, honestly.
I really like it, yeah. And I think she's going to kill next week's competition.
I was really pleased with her photo this week.
Because it's like the social media one.
And then, did you guys like Shanice's photo?
I loved Shanice's photo.
It was solid.
It was so regal. Yeah. Like, she just looks super really confident. Her posture is amazing. It looks like everyone's kind of like... boom. Like those are the peasants supporting her.
You know, it's really, I really like the more we see Shanice, I really like her more and more. I think she's got a great personality. She takes great photos.
Humble.
I just don't see her working that much in the real world.
Yeah.
If I'm being I don't know. She's just I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it.
Interesting.
What is it? Like in this environment she thrives, but in the real world what would be different?
No, I think she's actually really great for TV. I just like is she high fashion, but like is she commercial?
Yeah, you know,
I just like where does she fit in kind of? You know what I mean?
You have to be versatile, but I think you kind of need to also have kind of like some kind of brand as well at the same time. If I'm making sense at all, but yeah,
I don't think her tattoos look good at all.
Yeah, but those are easily covered up. Like, you can easily do something. And this was the Raw challenge, so this is her.
It is good that, like, there's more, like, you know, like, look at Ruby Rose. She has a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah.
Granted, her tattoos are, like, beautiful, right? So it's nice that the fashion industry is more accepting of tattoos nowadays.
Are you kidding? There was, like, a time 2 or 3 years ago when you couldn't book unless you had the tattoos. It was ridiculous. Because every dude was just, well, this is for dudes, so I should say, sorry. Every dude was just... full sleeves and a giant beard, and if you didn't, you couldn't book anything.
Maybe a man bun too.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's kind of passed a little bit.
Like ANTM.
How do you know I don't already have one?
Let's see then. Let's see.
Ooh, Gina's photo. She was my favorite this week. I really like Gina's photo.
I loved it.
Because that was like, she's like inhaling. She's like, Tyra always likes to inhale.
It looks just like she's from outer space.
Yeah,
like she just is so cool. She's so beautiful in like this like weird extraterrestrial way. Like she's I don't know.
Tyra loves
Amazing
the alien-esque
aura.
women.
Yeah.
She looks good though.
She looks so good.
That's my favorite. I think this is deserving of best photo for the week.
But it's also the hands though, because I feel like some of the hands were so awkwardly placed.
Yeah,
on the other
I agree.
models.
No, everything looked
This
great
is
in here.
so good.
Yeah.
Go Gina! I love it.
Who's up next?
Who haven't we talked about? Have we talked? I think Aaron. Aaron's photo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really disappointing this week, unfortunately.
See, I honestly feel like that's not on her. That's on Tyra.
I would agree.
Like,
I would agree.
Who approved this hair thing? Like,
Yeah.
it takes 2 seconds for one of the girls with their hands out there to be like pushing it back. for
You
her.
know, as soon as she saw that photo too, she was like, "They're trying to do me
It feels-
dirty with
yeah,
this.
no,
They're
it's-
trying to do me dirty."
It feels like some showgirls like
Yeah.
sabotage. Like I feel like one of the girls with their hands are like, let's just get her hair on her face because it's like so bad. It's so
It could have
terrible.
been, yeah, it could have been really good actually. I think like what Tyra was going for could have been a lot executed much better. But she looks uncomfortable. She looks very like she's in pain or something.
And someone in the chat just said, like Brandy just said, Erin did look tense, but I feel like they set her up. Like they totally set her up. We agree with
she
you.
had to have like a better photo than this. Like she had to.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that photo is awful.
It could have been really cute. I could see like
And Erin is beautiful.
Yeah.
so,
I like her
don't-
I like her in the raw sense. I think it would be. I think she probably did have a much better.
for
photo.
42, she looks phenomenal, and for her to be a grandma at the same time, I can't get over how like beautiful she is. But there's also, did we talk about Brandy K? Her photo? What do you guys think of Brandy
we
K?
didn't, did we? Can we
No.
go?
I loved her photo. I thought it was great.
I liked it too.
Stop. Wait,
I'm
no.
just like, yes, Brandy,
Wait,
yes.
keep going.
Where's my...
Keep going.
Yes.
Yeah. This one.
She does not need makeup either. And I think the judges really liked her. Liked
she
her
was the
without makeup
first
either.
one called too, and even though it's a tie, I feel like there's a reason she was called first. It's so great.
I like it a lot.
It's so beautiful. Like I have no other ways to describe this photo.
The composition is really well too. Just how everything's placed, her arms.
Mm-hmm.
She just looks really comfortable and relaxed.
Just reminds me of someone from Lord of the Rings, like
She
Liv
kinda-
Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
She looks like Maisie Williams. Do you guys watch Game of Thrones? Arya? That's what she looks like right now, except with the
know.
shaved head. She's
I'll have to like
beautiful.
look that reference up. And let's look at Christiana. Did we
Oh.
look at Christiana? The
We didn't ta-
blondes.
yeah, we didn't
Yeah,
talk
we didn't
about her
talk
yet.
about it. Blondes.
Yes, Christiana. Where are you? There
Right
you
there.
are.
Yep.
Yes,
Right
Christiana.
there. Let's see.
Ugh. Look at that.
See, I like this. I didn't love it.
No?
No, it's solid. It's good.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know.
It wasn't the strongest.
It
but
wasn't.
I like that it's vulnerable. She's presenting herself in a vulnerable, like,
I think it's more her story arc in this episode that made us fall for her
Yeah,
even
yeah.
more.
yeah.
Like she's so like she can do anything. Like this is the first time we've seen her kind of like stripped down from the makeup, but it still looks like she looks so good without makeup. Like she is so beautiful. Like cover girl.
A lot of these girls don't even need makeup, honestly.
Yeah.
We just realize, like, damn, they're all beautiful naturally.
Yeah.
You're beautiful.
Ugh.
I just now I have the song stuck in my head. Like, I can't
Yeah, you're going
anymore.
to for the next 2 days.
Stories with Siku says Brandy K, then Gina. Oh, she was called out first because Brandy K was alphabetically first. Maybe they just called them out.
I wrote
Ollie
it. I
told me
wrote
to
it
this
down
for
in
what?
order. Oh wait, I think you might be
Oh,
right. Yeah,
because it was alphabetical.
it was Brandy K,
Okay.
Gina, Christiana, Kayla, Rio, Sandra, and Shanice.
How did you
she
figure
did-
that
Yeah,
out?
who did
That's
figure that
so
out?
good.
Props to you, whoever
I
figured
don't know
that
how to
out.
pronounce the
Stories
names.
with Seiko.
Seku.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us in the
Yeah,
chat.
thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you for everyone in the chat, by the way. You guys are fun. I love y'all.
Love it.
Okay, are we missing anyone?
No, that's it.
No. We did the photo shoot, but then we got to get to the challenge
Oh yeah.
with Director X is back.
Yes.
Director
Again.
X is back, and they made much better videos this time than those silly transformation videos they did last time.
Although the funny thing is, like the theme with all these video challenges is unnecessary screaming. Like, have you noticed
Yeah,
that? Like,
yeah. At least it kind of felt right in this moment,
Yeah,
though. You
a
know.
little bit.
So
But I don't know why. I don't remember who was screaming, but I remember someone was, and I was just like, this is so ridiculous.
Sandra
like, I
looked
can't.
like she was just like,
I can't. Because I feel like not everyone had something that traumatic that they went through.
Yeah.
So for them to emote by screaming almost felt ridiculous. Like they were just getting out whatever tension
But,
had built up in the house.
Was it to show the release of, like, what was the point of the scream too? Like
anti-bullying. I don't
but
know.
how is screaming anti-bullying? Is you're trying to release something and saying, like, I'm not gonna take this anymore. We're not gonna take it. Sorry, I relate everything to song. I don't know, but the videos they were making were for the National Crime Prevention Council, which is NCPC.org. Well, no, I'm trying to spread the message. And the winner of the video their video is actually gonna get used in a digital campaign, which is quite wonderful.
You know, I was thinking about this. I was like, do they get paid then for shooting this video?
No,
because it's an advertising campaign,
Yeah,
not the models. Like Tyra Banks or whoever is shooting the video, because they're doing an advertising campaign for another company. Wouldn't they be kind of considered the media agency facilitating that transaction? Because I worked in advertising, and I'm just thinking this is kind of like such a good deal for them. Like, they turn it into a photo shoot, but they also make money because it's for an advertising campaign.
Right.
I just thought it was cool.
I don't know.
I was thinking so much about the business side of things.
We'll have to touch base with the legal team from Top Model to get the answer on that.
She's thinking very, like,
I need
huge.
to know.
I like where your brain's at, though.
This.
Yeah,
Yes, I
No,
really
it's
don't know.
good. It's a good conversation.
And they had the girls put themselves in their own groups this time. And Drew said he wanted them to go with people that they wanted to know more about, right?
Yeah.
Which I get it. And then, Brendy K being like, a good person is like, well, I want to know more about Christina. I thought that was a really...
Or maybe she's like,
it was the wrong move.
Let me tear you down.
But
I know you're going to be weak and I want to be on your team, so I don't get a limit. No, I'm kidding. I don't think she would think that strategically.
Well, Christina was terrible in the video with Patrick Starr, so I don't think, anything that she's going to be in as a team, I don't think people want her on her team. But I think in the spirit...
She's good on her own.
Yeah, I think in the spirit of the show and the episode, though, I like what Brendy K did. I don't know if it worked out for her. So the groups it was Brendy K, Christina, and Shanice, Erin, Gina, and Rio, and Kayla, Christiana, and Sandra.
And Christiana ended up winning.
It's really hard to do this video challenge.
Her group ended up winning.
Yeah.
So they all.
Yeah. I think it's super difficult to do this video challenge without falling into like these awful cliches of like, I am strong, I am indestructible, don't ever bully anyone.
It was interesting how
mean?
the groups wrote their own voiceovers.
Yeah.
And it was... It didn't seem like there was a common theme between the three of them, though, if you ask me, right? I don't know.
Because I feel like Christiana's team, they were more personalized. They got their...
I loved
Christiana was about body image, Kyla was about her stutter, and then Sandra talked about being Muslim, and then the other girls didn't really get to talk about their own issues.
There was part of me that it felt kind of gimmicky, like Sandra's like, what do I have? Oh, that's right, I'm Muslim.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna play the Muslim
But also,
card.
it's
But
just,
I get that it truly
you get
is
discriminated
a struggle.
for being Muslim.
You do. I mean, I guess we don't... I have felt it before. I don't feel it as much as if I were to go to like the middle of the country or somewhere that was really Islamophobic, but you definitely feel it.
Well, I also think people just think like, oh, I can spot a Muslim. You know what I mean? Like, people come in all different shapes and sizes, and like a lot of people that probably are
no, I'm kidding. That's really
fearful of Muslims probably have actually
stereotypes.
met them and don't even know it because they're just normal fucking people.
Gigi Hadid, by the way, Muslim model.
I didn't know that.
Palestinian.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Gigi Hadid. Her dad is Muslim Palestinian.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day,
Educate us.
folks.
Educating
Also,
us.
Bella Hadid, you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
No way.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
So I don't know how they did this so quickly, but Tyra actually narrated.
That was probably
the
post-production. She probably did that later.
Probably. And then so group one with Kayla, Christiana, and Sandra won.
Yep.
And their video will be featured to help stop bullying.
Yeah, because that's definitely going to work. Like, I'm going to watch a video and be like, oh, shit, shouldn't have bullied that person. This was so bad. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well,
I'll try not to be so, like, cynical, but I love this, though. I'm not going to lie. There actually, when I was a kid, there was a commercial for, I don't know if you guys remember this. There used to be these above the influence commercials to get kids to not smoke marijuana. And I still remember that this commercial resonated with me so much, and I actually watched it yesterday because I
Really?
loved it so much. And
You searched it out and watched it?
Because it's so ridiculous and so funny, because it's like this young kid.
Wait, were those the ones where the kid would like smoke weed and then like melt it into the couch? Was it those?
Yeah, but that's not the one I'm talking about. But I like
okay.
those too. But this particular one was this guy like saying like, "Oh, do you want some pot?" And the kid goes, "I don't smoke pot. I smoke clowns like you on the b-ball court." And I remember thinking like, damn, that resonates with me. Yes, yes. So like in my mind, I was literally like, you guys have
I'm
to
having all
understand.
my dare learning from my childhood coming back to me
Yes.
now.
But no,
Just say
in
no.
all honesty, I think advertising is so impactful. Like, people don't realize the power of media, not just social media, but the power of advertising to shape public opinion. And like, it's been done with smoking in the past, where, you know, we've shifted public opinion to make smoking not as cool. It's not like the movie Grease, where everyone's like smoking and it's like, yeah, oh, he's a bad boy, he's smoking. Now we're kind of like, ill, like, who smokes?
I don't think they also knew just how bad they were for you back then.
And now
also.
like we've progressed so much. Now we do e-cigarettes so much better, right?
No, and
with
vapes-
nicotine.
Do you vape, bro?
Vape.
Do you vape?
No, but seriously, I think people really do need to understand the impact of advertising. It's huge. Like, you really can shape public opinion. And that's why I also think, like, not to get super off topic, but it's kind of like what we should do with guns. Like, I'm not against the Second Amendment or the right to bear arms. I just think we should live in a country where we don't want to have to use a weapon for any purpose. And we shouldn't have to feel the need to defend ourselves.
That touches on a lot of different
we
issues.
should, we should,
Yeah.
like, kind of...
That's
I
like the
don't know.
movie industry for sure.
Yeah, like, we
Not
should...
so much advertising.
We should change, like, the culture of violence, I would say. Not necessarily, like, pro-gun, anti-gun, but, like, we shouldn't want to have to resort to that level of violence or glamorize violence in any sort of way.
But this would be a good thing for Top Model. They should they should promote that next season.
They should do that.
Maybe.
Yeah, like with, like, a machine gun.
Take
like,
notes,
say hello to my
producers.
little friend. No.
Take
Godfather. No.
Well,
no one.
you could rope, you know, drugs and all kinds of stuff into that too. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have one where they, like... Yeah, I'm not gonna... Never mind. I was gonna be like, snort cocaine and, like, different drugs and how it affects you, like, before and after. That would actually be very
I think they
creative,
should
though.
actually teach kids what happens to you when you do a drug, not just this is
They
bad.
do that in the DARE program,
Do
though.
they?
They literally will say, like, okay, cocaine does this to this part of the... Don't they? I thought they totally did.
It's been 20 years.
They
I don't really
should.
remember.
It's from all that pot, right?
Probably.
Yeah,
probably.
that's why.
You know, if
Don't
it's a
do
plant-
drugs, kids.
If it's a plant,
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with
Don't do it.
it. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Terrible
I've just been
memory, too.
sitting
The
here.
effects of... No.
This has gotten way deep.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, this has gotten really deep.
Don't do any of it. No, but we were just talking about the video challenges. But what do you think of, like, this whole episode as a whole, you guys?
I liked it.
I think again, there was a lot of heavy issues, and I think I think they managed it very well. I don't think they did it in a cheesy way. I don't think they did it in a making light of something way. I think they presented it in a very, like, informative but, like, sincere way, which is nice. You don't always get that from reality TV sometimes.
Well, the episode is called "Beauty Is Raw," and I think like it speaks volumes for someone like Christina, who wasn't being raw. She tried being raw, but then she went back to being very like with
vegan?
with walls. Like, she had walls up, you know. And I think this episode was about, you know, being raw and very open and being vulnerable. And I think she kind of was like a hermit crab. She came out of her shell, but she went back into it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why she's probably eliminated.
Yeah.
So that's.
And I was so happy when I saw her opening up.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
was nice.
yes, okay, like, yes, there's gonna be a breakthrough.
Did you really think she was, like, turning a corner there?
It would have been nice.
It was wishful
Did you?
thinking, but
Wishful thinking,
I
a
don't know.
little bit.
I was like, I want to see more. I want to
Yeah.
see more. So they
Yeah.
kind of were like, here's like some redeeming quality. I don't know. Your act.
I really feel, and then so we already kind of talked about it a little bit, but there was a 7-way tie for best photo this week. First time ever in Top Model history.
It's so demoralizing to be the only person that doesn't win the competition. That's what I was thinking. Like, how shitty must that feel to be like, so you get a rose, none for you.
It's like
Glenn
Oprah,
Coco.
you get a best picture and you get a best picture.
Yeah.
Except for the bottom two.
Yes.
Erin and Christina. And I really feel that Erin was supposed to go home, and I think the interaction with Christina and the judges, I honestly think they just had enough.
Yeah.
And they really felt like she being disingenuous, and I really think Erin should have went home. I think Erin won't last much longer anyway. But
yeah, I don't think she is either. I think Christina had a better shot of progressing farther. But I definitely love Erin. But they said something really interesting. Like Tyra Banks said, we don't really think you're here to take critique or to learn and to grow. We think you know what's best, and we think you're actually just here for exposure. And they're acting like that's a bad thing. Like, isn't that part of the reason you go on
a lot of people do that,
next
sure.
top model? But back in the day, I don't think people went on the show for exposure. Now our culture has changed so much where you can go on a TV show and you could be like, I was on this TV show, hence the Instagram followers.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Because social media wasn't there back then when the first couple of seasons of Top Model came out, so, you know, they didn't have that much exposure. And I think Top Model was so new, and you didn't really know what could happen with this platform. And now, clearly, it's evolved with social media. And even in the show, there's so many social media elements in it. Like this, what did they do for social media? Well, they had Patrick Starr.
What?
Manny
Mua.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know
got it.
makeup artist, but
Yeah.
why was they thinking about Manny? Anyway, but yeah, I think social media is very, you know, anyone could be a model with Instagram. So yeah.
Like us.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the world we live in. It's the world we live in.
So.
Man, it's just a heavy episode here.
Did you guys cry?
No, I didn't cry.
I felt things.
What did you feel?
Just felt, you know, I felt things. I didn't cry there. I'm not a big crier. It just doesn't come out
You're
a lot.
an Aquarius.
Is that true? Is that we don't cry a lot?
No, you guys are very logical.
I am very logical, yeah. Yeah.
What about Pisces?
Well, thanks for
I'm a
dissecting me
Pisces.
here.
You're supposed to be super emotional.
But I can't cry. Like, that's the thing.
Well, you're never going to make it in Hollywood.
Well, someone punch me in the face and I'll cry. Oh, well. It was really sad, though. Like, I felt for her, and I'm glad that she was able to open up for the first time. You know, are you going to cry right now?
Oh, no.
She's wearing glitter, and
I
I'm like...
actually have resting happy face.
Resting crying face.
No, I'm always, like, my mouth is always like this, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Is that a bad thing?
I guess not. But it makes
Do you want your face to be like this? It could look like this all the time.
Like Christina. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding, Christina. We love you.
Burn.
I don't know.
Should we get into maybe some predictions for next week? It's kind of getting down to what? We have 8 left now? Mm-hmm. So we're like halfway through.
Yeah.
I feel like it's getting tight already. Like, we had 7 best photo winners this
Now,
week.
your AfterBuzz TV.
It would be funny if like none of you guys get best photo competition done.
You all are horrible.
I'm out. We don't have the
my
budget
gosh.
for this anymore.
Dude, I would love that if they had one week where everyone just did horrible. Like,
No.
It's like you're all in the bottom.
Just to bring everybody down.
It's like, what are you willing to do to redeem yourselves? And it's like Fear Factor.
the bottom 8.
No.
I don't know.
They should have stuff like that. Oh my god, how cool would it be if they mixed Fear Factor with America's Next Top Model? I shouldn't give away these amazing ideas.
Sounds terrifying.
But like they do a photo shoot with a crocodile and they're like
They have before.
Oh, have they done stuff like that?
Cycle 4, they pose with the crocodile. They pose cycle 3, they pose with like a tarantula. So they've had stuff like that.
Oh my god, you're right, actually.
It makes good TV.
I'll fill you guys in on a little secret from
Yeah.
when I was on the show.
Yeah.
When we were in Bali, we went to Bali and we did a shoot, and this was when they were doing the social media thing, so everybody like did every shoot because they would release it ahead of time.
Yeah.
But we were in Bali and we had to do it with animals. So there was like a parrot, there was an orangutan, there was a lion or a leopard, a baby one, but still terrifying, and a snake. And they gave me the snake.
No.
I had already been eliminated this time, but I freaked out. I said, I'm not doing that. I straight up was like, I will freak out and cry, and you can send me home right now. I'm not going to take a picture with a snake. I'm terrified of snakes. And if I would have actually still been on the show, I would have said the same thing. I said, all right, I'm going home. I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
Well, which animal would you have done?
No, so I ended up, so they were like, I don't think it really mattered because I wasn't on the show anymore. So they're like, okay, we'll switch you with somebody else. And they gave me an orangutan. And they
fun.
painted me up like a goddamn Thundercat. But I got to spend 5 minutes with Chloe, a 4-year-old orangutan who stole my heart. She was amazing. She was like a little baby. And she would like reach for you. Thank you. It was amazing. I'm so glad I bitched and complained and got to shoot with an orangutan instead of a snake. But
So
they do freaky things like that.
I
sometimes.
take it you're afraid of snakes.
Terrifying. Snakes and clowns. Oh man, I can't do it. I can't do
Aw.
it. Everything else though, I'm good.
Aw.
Sorry, we like totally got
No,
off
that was
topic
very
there.
interesting. I love it when you talk about your past
Clowns
experience.
and
That was good.
orangutans.
I'm opening up,
So just
okay?
don't go
I'm
to the
terrified of
circus.
snakes and clowns.
Just be raw, Mike.
I'm being
please.
very raw.
What happened in your childhood to elicit this fear?
I don't know. I grew up in the woods of Pennsylvania, and we were snakes all the time. Not all the time, but like
I
you'd
thought
see.
you were gonna say clowns.
You know, when I was a child, a murdering axe clown just happened to stroll by my house and scared the shit out of me.
There actually was a news story of this clown who was like terrorizing a community just by standing in random places.
Terrifying.
But they couldn't arrest him because he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah,
illegal.
that's terrifying. Though.
That's totally something.
Weren't
I
people
would
doing
do.
that when the It movie came out and they were just like dressing up and walking around as clowns and like
Oh.
freaking people out, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
like there's some
yeah.
like weird stuff
Why?
there?
I don't understand why people are afraid of clowns. Like, what makes a
But
clown
what
scary?
is the point of a clown?
But why are you
Why do you
afraid?
what does a clown do?
Why are you afraid of clowns? They don't do anything. They don't go around murdering people.
Well, the murdering clowns do, and that's I think it's Hollywood. You know, they brainwash me to be afraid
Stephen
of clowns.
King wrote it. the
Other than
book,
it,
so-
though, like, why are people afraid of clowns? For the ones who haven't seen it, it's
don't know.
the
I don't
movie.
know.
I don't know the answer
I
for it.
don't
It's just the way it is.
Maybe we'll have a clown shoot in the future episode, and someone's clownophobic. What's the word? Afraid of whatever.
Stop.
We're off.
Look it
topic.
up. We still got to do this prediction. So who do you guys think is going home next week?
Very good question. I have no clue.
Erin.
Maybe Rio, because Rio looks like she's like.
She's not going home.
I love Rio too. She's beautiful, but I don't know. They kind of like pegged her to be like problematic next in the little teaser.
It might be the activist girl, the cute one.
Kyla.
Maybe.
I don't want that to happen. 'Cause
But
She didn't look
but
good
she's
in the
improving.
preview, but you never know.
Oh yeah, because everyone thought she was like dumb or something. Maybe she's not gonna like perform well. You think? I don't know. I think I would say Kyla.
That's so mean.
Kyla,
though.
Sandra, or Rio. Those are my not top three, bottom
No,
three.
Sandra's gonna stay for sure because the next challenge is a social media challenge.
But wouldn't that be a twist
is
if she
gonna
did the
kill it.
worst?
Overconfidence. You never know.
You're thinking 2
I don't-
steps ahead of the game, my friends. Wow.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
I don't know who's going home next week. I
Do
don't.
you have the inside scoop?
don't.
Because they're in this community. Do you keep in touch with any of your model friends?
Like for my season or in general, or I mean, it's kind of
Oh,
like
do you have model friends in general? You're just surrounded by
Well,
beautiful people.
it's kind of like a little club once you're on the show, and so you would like you run into people from time to time, and then you kind of just have this weird bond with them. But yeah, I've met a bunch of people from the show that I've become friends with. I talk to some of the producers every once in a while.
Invite them on the show.
not that often.
Do they
Invite
do
them
anything
here.
like to like get a reaction from you, like what they do on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? Do the producers ever say like, how did that make you feel, and talk about this? Like,
When though, and like what point?
like any of the points.
Well, so
of view.
when you're watching them and they're like just talking to the camera with like a green screen behind them or something behind them, so essentially you're sitting in a room with a producer and a cameraman.
Yeah.
And you're having a conversation with the producer, and the producer is very. When you're in a foreign environment and you don't have anybody you can really lean on, the producer becomes your best friend in a sense. So
It's like Stockholm syndrome.
kind of, yeah. They kind of butter you up and really they kind of get to know you. And Allison, you're amazing. She's the one that did all the interviews, and so they kind of they want you to feel in a safe space when you're in that room with them. So they get you to kind of be a little more vulnerable and open with them, but also they're looking for a specific answer, and they'll try a lot of different ways to get the answer they want, because once you say it, it's recorded and it's on, and they can use it however they want.
Absolutely.
So it's funny, unless you do it, it's not gonna make sense. But when you're sitting in there, they'll ask you the same question 3 times, but in 3 different ways, trying to like trip you up.
Give
so you
us an
say
example, like right now with us. ask
Or
us
they
a
would just be
question.
like, well, what do you think of Sandra? Do you think Sandra is like a good person? And then you I don't know, it's weird. You just had to kind of going through it. You're just.
It sounds like Mean Girls, the 3-way phone call. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's a little bit. It's a little bit like that. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bit like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
Cool.
tell stories another time.
I guess that's it for now.
Yeah, I don't think Erin's gonna make it much longer. I mean, again, I think she's amazing, but she hasn't really brought anything either. You know what I mean? Like they just keep saying, "Oh, you're 42 and you look beautiful," but like I feel like
God,
we're
way to they put it in these like harsh terms.
But we're like,
yeah, it's true.
some of these other characters, you're like pulling off the layers and you're learning more and you're feeling for them. I just feel like we haven't even, I guess a little bit this week.
This episode,
but this
for
was
sure
the first
did.
time like we really featured anything with Erin, to be honest with you, you know?
It was refreshing, at least, I'll say
It
that.
was, yeah, it was. I want to know more.
Other than that, she's definitely a background contestant. Like and I don't want her to be a filler contestant, you know? That would suck. I think a filler contestant would be like someone like Sandra.
Right.
No hate, but like no hate to anyone, but
Yeah.
you know, it's just how you're edited in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out
You're a
next week.
character.
She doesn't say anything controversial. I think that's why. Sandra has no enemies. Except for Rio freaking
that's
out
a
that
good
she's
point.
perfect
That's
and
a
has
good
no
point.
enemies.
They probably have so much fun editing Rio, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just have to wait and see who goes home next week.
Yeah, I can't
Dun,
wait.
dun, dun. All right, any other last thoughts? Otherwise, we'll wrap it up here. Heavy stuff, kids.
Christiana's gonna win this competition, so prepare for it. Get
A
ready.
lot of bold predictions going on over here.
Take that.
Yeah, we haven't seen one weak photo from Christiana, and I don't want to see her fall from her throne.
I don't either. I don't either. So where can we find you guys on the interwebs?
I'm Oliver Drennan. Follow me on all social media platforms at AllADreamer.
Hey guys, I'm Mina Wahab, and I make so much magic everywhere I go, sprinkling the pixie dust. So please follow me at Mina Makes Magic on Instagram.
Make that magic, girl. I'm Mike Scocozza. It's Scocozza is how I spell my name. Look it up. We'll see you guys next week.
Yay! Thanks, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.